Comics of 100 Years Ago, it's Gasoline Alley by Frank King from Some Sunday in 1925. Walt and Skeezix. Well, first of all, we see Walt waving goodbye to Skeezix, who's in an aviator outfit riding on a dragonfly, and Walt says, "Don't go more than 100 miles, Skeezix." He waves a handkerchief at him. Walt and Skeezix walk through some very tall grass, and Walt says, "It's hard going, Skeezix, almost a jungle." "Yeah, grass getting pretty high," says Skeezix. They stand on a giant leaf, and Walt says, "Careful you don't stub your toe on a grain of sand." "Look, Uncle Walt, what's that?" says Skeezix. "It's an ant. He won't hurt you if you don't bother him." "Will he bite?" asks Skeezix. The ant is about the size of a dog. Now they watch several ants in an anthill, and Walt says, "See, they're working hard, making a nest for themselves." "Lots of them working," says Skeezix. "Aha, a potato bug or something," says Walt. "Maybe it's a ladybug," says Skeezix, and it does look like that's what it is. "Run, Skeezix, it's a bumblebee," says Walt as a bee flies overhead. Walt trips on some grass and says, "Wow, that was a narrow escape. Is he coming, Uncle Walt?" asks Skeezix. Walt carries Skeezix away from a very fierce-looking caterpillar. He says, "He looks a terrible monster, but he's only a caterpillar." Walt and Skeezix are both knocked down as a grasshopper lands on top of them. The grasshopper is about as big as a car. Walt says to the grasshopper, "Say, you have a lot of nerve. He knock us over," says Skeezix. A mosquito flies at them, and Walt says, "Run, Skeezix, while I swat him." And now we see what's really going on. Walt and Skeezix are lying on their stomachs looking at bugs, and Skeezix says, "Here's another bug, Uncle Walt." Walt says, "Say, the mosquitoes are getting too thick. I think we'd better move."